We got into talking about, I don't know how we got into talking about, dudes and how, dudes flip on each other nowadays and they're not real and shit like that. And, they'll do the crime, but they don't want to do the time. And he like, I tell my young dudes all the time, if you break the law, you got to do the time or whatever, right? So we get to chopping it up talking about that, right? And so I'm just speaking in general. Like, I'm one of those people that wouldn't watch the first 48 for years. And I'm just saying, as soon as they get in that room, they start singing like a canary or hollering for their mama, their grandma, but on the street, they stone cold killers. You know what I'm saying? But when they get in front of them hard-nosed detective, they fold like lawn chairs and they start pleading and stuff like that, most of them. And I was like telling him, like, they hate, he said, that all you got to do is go in and say, you want a lawyer. I said, yeah, that's it. That'll kill it. That'll be it. Make them do their job, right? So he was saying the same thing. And then so he was like, well, that's what happened to me in my case. He was trying to tell me like a plea bargain isn't saying that you're guilty. I sure thought that's what a plea bargain was, because yeah, that's, to me, that's saying you're guilty, unless you're saying like you want to do something like how they plead guilty, but they're not really pleading guilty. They're not committing a crime. They're not pleading guilty to the crime, but they're saying you have enough evidence to convict me. It's not a guilty, but he said, pleading guilty. We're talking about pleading guilty. So by him saying being in the the system or whatever, I guess that was his way of telling me, he went to prison. So I'm like, how many times have you been to prison? How long were you in there? Because, any dude to go to prison, I'm not going to say y'all gay. I don't know, but I'm just saying, it ain't no pussy in there. So if you want somebody to go to prison, and I don't know how long you can hold out and shit like that, these are things that I just want to know, and I'm glad he's being upfront with me about it, right? So, all right, so that's, to me, that's a sort of a red flag, because I try not to judge people, but I'm done with letting pass it. So to me, that's a red flag. But I'm still talking to him, fill him out some more. So he's telling me, again, about this van business and how he's trying to get all his paperwork together so he can have not his interview, but to send it to the guy so he can see what he got on his criminal background, the time he did in prison, tickets, all this shit, right? So he's saying that, and he's like, well, are you coming back out so I can see you? I'm like, in my mind, no, I'm not coming back out to see you, because I got shit to do. I got to cook. I got to clean, not clean because I already cleaned my house, but I got to cook. I've been out all day. I've been working. I've been doing what I need to do. I want to take a shower. I want to cook and come lay my ass down. Plus I got responsibilities, baby. So he's like, I said, no, I'm not coming back out. He said, so can we meet tomorrow and have lunch? I said, yeah. I said, we can meet tomorrow and we can have lunch and we can sit down, we can chop it up. Simple, right? Because to me, it's like, you got to know somebody. Like, these days, people are falling in love with the wrong people, and people are killing each other so bad, and just, I ain't trying to be on Fatal Attraction for me whacking somebody or somebody whacking me. I ain't never that in love that I gotta kill you for it. You know what I'm saying? But I done had a couple of stalkers in my day, so I'm just trying to just have a friend, not a boyfriend or a fuck buddy. I just need a dude. I just wanted a dude just to chop it up with and talk with, because as soon as I start seeing red flags, I cut motherfuckers off. You don't know me. You don't know me. I just cut my brother off. I don't have time. Now, mind you, me and my brother weren't even close, but he just came with some dumb shit. And I'm just like, I don't have time for it. I will cut your ass off. So anyway, we set up to link up today for lunch, right? So I was out there doing my thing, working, and I hadn't heard from him. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to text him. And I'm so glad I went with my gut, because normally I'd be the one to be like, good morning, how you doing, whatever. Just say good morning. But nope. I said, nope, not doing it. So he calls me, I think, right after I finished eating lunch, because I ate lunch around 11 something, and he called me right at like 12:40, almost 1 o'clock, 12:35, 12:40. He said he was getting ready to finish DoorDash, and he just took this last order, and he was about 30 minutes away from me, and he said when he done with that order, he was going to call me. I'm like, and let me know that he was on his way, or he was going to meet me at the place. Cool. I told him, yeah. So I came on home and did what I needed to do, straighten up a little bit, took them damn trash cans out to the street. If you know, you know. And so he called me when he was at where we were supposed to meet. And I'm like, why wouldn't you call me while you on your way there? Therefore, you don't have to sit there and wait on me. I don't like when people sit around and wait on me, and I don't like sitting around waiting on nobody.